Hi, I'm Wayne Walker, and welcome to Incredible Idaho. You know, few animals inspire fear like bats. These nocturnal creatures can make grown men and women scream and run for cover. Now, in many ways, their reputation is undeserved. The more we learn about bats, the more we discover they are, in fact, one of man's best friends. As night falls, a group of researchers are just getting busy.
Why don't you back up just a little bit?
They set up a net along the river to catch bats that will come here to eat and drink.
That way. So you try to set them where the bats are going to be foraging and they're concentrating their echolocations on catching prey and not paying attention to a net that might be in front of them. The surveys we're doing around Idaho now, we're basically trying to find out what bat species we have where. And particularly looking for maternity colonies where the females are raising their young.
Tonight, this crew hopes to snare little brown bats that have set up a maternity roost in the bridge. The bats are difficult to see, but their droppings or guano give them away. Folks gather around an opening to watch them come out.
Oh, cool. Just get to the crack.
You can see a little bit of light here.
There, you can see them moving around in there.
A maternity roost is where female bats bear their young, or give birth to their young. The young bats take about 3 weeks or so to mature, and about 3 weeks of age they're able to fly.
After a while, the crew gathers to watch the net and wait.
Oh, there goes one. Yep, they're flying on the water. You can see it.
Most bats have good eyesight, but they rely on the highly developed echolocation calls to fly and feed at night. Their skill is so precise that the U.S. military studies bats to improve government radar and sonar systems.
So bats can echolocate, bounce things off, and the closer they get, they can emit faster echolocations to help pinpoint the insect and then swoop in to capture it either with their mouth, or often they end up swooping the insect up with their tail membrane.
It's because of this unique trait that bats are hard to catch.
There were hundreds of bats flying around, foraging on probably mosquitoes and mayflies over the water. And you could see them come and just go up and over the net, fly parallel to the net. And our experience is that we get skunked about 50% of the time when we go out to catch bats.
2 months earlier, in this same spot, a group of teachers at a Project Wild workshop succeeded in helping catch and examine bats.
And they let us take turns holding them and carrying them and pulling out of the bag that, you know, this is just an innocent creature. You know, it's finding food in the middle of the night for its young, so it can go back and nurse the babies.
Teachers learned how to determine the age, sex, and type of bat. It was an exciting night, but at first, many of the teachers were afraid.
You know, look out, those are bats. They're going to hurt you. They're going to come right at you. They're going to come in your hair. You always hear these stories, bats get tangled up in hair. And,
it's no surprise people are afraid of bats.
Whoa.
The classic vampire movie Dracula burned into people's minds the fear of all creatures of the night. Count Dracula was modeled to even look like a bat. In the 1971 version with Frank Langella, Dracula turns into a bat to escape and then attack his pursuers. Vampire movies keep myths about bats alive, but when these teachers learned the truth about bats, their fear gave way to fascination.
And the lactating mothers was very interesting. You could see that she was carrying milk, and that was really interesting. You thought, oh, bats are mothers, they nurse just like people do, whoa. That was real surprising, very shocking.
Contrary to their image, bats actually benefit people. A single bat will eat thousands of bugs a night, equal to half its body weight.
They're very beneficial around agricultural areas. Bats can eat thousands and thousands of insects in a single night, and most farmers aren't even aware of their presence.
Biologists are learning the vital roles bats play in their habitat, and also what affects their survival. Disturbing their winter hibernation can cause them to starve to death. And mine and cave safety programs have killed thousands of bats.
Owners of these caves will feel the best thing to do is to blow up the entrance, collapse it in to keep people from going in and potentially getting hurt, and without going in and actually doing a survey to see whether or not it's being used as a roost site by bats. Often thousands and thousands of bats are entombed inside these caves that are sealed shut.
Little is known about the 14 different kinds of bats that live in Idaho. Because they are secretive animals, it's a challenge for scientists to learn how to protect them.
We are in the process of trying to find out where all those bat species occur in Idaho, what their habitats are, what the population status is. And we're just, if people know where there's a large concentration of bats, we'd like to know about it. A lot of people, once they find out that we're doing surveys for bats, they get excited and say, come look at the ones in my house. You know?